First of all, I would like to thank Green Root Nepal for inviting me. And also, I want to say Happy International Biodiversity Day to all the participants. Um, uh, uh, we all are Nepali, is it?
Yes, I think
Sabina?
we had few registrations from foreigners, but I don't see any of them in the
Okay,
attendees.
maybe we can talk in Nepali as well. But still, if there is the chance that any foreigner can join later, then I shall speak in English.
Uh, yeah,
Okay, that's
sure.
not a problem. Anyway, thank you once again for inviting me here. I'm very glad to share the update on fishing cats from Nepal. So, so shall I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Um, can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. So, this is the photo of fishing cat clicked by one of the Nepali photographer from Chitwan National Park, Nepal. When I started my study and back in 2012, we don't have such kind of images, and then people really know about the fishing cat. But now the scenario is changed, and now we have some photograph available from the Nepal side as well. That's the good for us. Um, so in my presentation today, I'm updating at what level we are in research and what we are doing in conservation of these species. Yeah, starting from the fishing cat, its Nepali name is Malaha Viralo, and I'm proud to say Malaha Viralo because Malaha is the ethnic group of people in the country who rely on the fishing for their livelihood. So, with the respect of these people, then I think that is this is my assumption also. I think the fishing cat is given the name Malaha. So, as Savina already said, like there are 13 species of wild cats in Nepal, and then in the global context, there are 41 species of wild cat, starting from big cat tiger to the smallest cat, rusty spotted cat. We have both these species are in our country. And besides all these 13 species of cat, fishing cat is peculiar in terms of their habitat using and then diet preference. Talking about the fishing cat research and the conservation, not only with the fishing cat, if we talk about the small cat species also, there is a small research conducted by the SWCCF, Small Wildcat Conservation Foundation, that over 99% of the funding goes for the big cat species that are only 7 in number, and then the remaining 34 now 34 species of small cats rarely get the fund that's below 1%. So there is a very much challenges in the funding. Of course, this lack the status research status in the small cats family. So talking about the fishing cat is very important in terms of ecosystem functioning. They play as the important role for the functioning of the wetland ecosystem. We can also consider them as the indicator of the healthy wetland ecosystem. Um, in spite of these, there is the general belief that the protection of the big carnivore species like the tiger will, which act as the umbrella species, can support the conservation of the fishing cat. But this is not the real, because their habitat is different, their prey preferences is different, and it's just the myth. So we should be focus on the species level for this conservation. Um, so just I want to gives just overview about the fishing cat distribution in the global context. Globally, fishing cats occurs in some countries, only few countries of South and Southeast Asian countries. You can see in the East Asia, Cambodia, and then in Sri Lanka, in the south, and then in context of Nepal, you can see in the southern belt, the Terai part of the Nepal and the Terai part of the India this year, the common habitat. So these are the fishing cat range. They are very rare, and then their distribution is also like not continuous. They are discontinuous distribution, and they are very less in number. So this is the update from the 2016 Asian Release Assessment, and most probably by the end of this year we'll get another update from the Asian Release Assessment. So let's hope for that. Let's hope we see more distribution range, or like that may be decreased. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. This is the pictures of the cats from Nepal. So fishing cat is different from the other cats in terms of pattern, and in terms of their habitat. So you can see the detailed picture for the cats of Nepal. Um, Talking about the distribution of fishing cat in Nepal, just I did one research. I just take the camera trapping presence record of fishing cat from 11 years data, starting from 2009 to 2020. So taking over the 300 locations of presence data of fishing cat, we did modeling, and then we come out with some results that like below 5% of the Nepal area is potential for the fishing cat. Also, it is important, it is notable that like more than 50%, like almost 65% of this suitable habitat lies outside the protected area. And this all area lies below 300-meter elevation. So in the eastern side, you can see Koshitapu, not only inside the protected area, beyond the Koshitapu, outside the protected area, similar in Persha and Chittagong, and then also in Shuklafata in the far west. So there are some buffer area like outside the protected area where fishing cat lies. So it means like the area, the protected area is itself protected. So there is the less chance of, the threat, conflict with the with any wildlife species. But outside the protected area, as fishing cat lies mostly outside the protected area, so there is a high challenge. We can say high challenge. And talking about this, some research gap. We till now we haven't any information regarding the fishing cat population in this location. So we can see the eastern population of fishing cat and the central population is somehow connected. And then talking about the central and eastern population with the western population, it seems like there is some gap. And then to understand its the connectivity, if there is the connection or not, there should be some genetic level study which is not happened till now. So this is about the distribution. And then yet now this day there is a big question when we talk about any species. People talk about the what is the population of that species in the country or in the world. So this is the big question which I always hear about, the what is the number of fishing cat population in Nepal. When I started my fishing cat journey in 2012, we don't have any information, but now we have some information. After that, there are a lot of research, and there are some conservation activities happening in the country, and then we can just share something. Before that, there is one estimation, that's the guess estimation of fishing cat population from the Asian Rare List of Mammals of Nepal. So from the Gawali till 2011, there is the assumption that the Nepal fishing cat population is lies between 150 to 200. But it was just a guess, not the actual estimate, because there were no research on fishing cat until then. So, talking about the fishing cat population, there are all the research are dependent on the camera trapping method. We can see we can differentiate the individual of fishing cat by looking the pattern, pelt pattern, like the stripes or the dotted mark in their body. And we believe the fact that every fishing cat individual, every individual, they have the different body pattern, different pelt pattern. So we differentiate this from the camera tracking footage. So um, unlike the National Tiger Survey, like the survey of the big carnivores, we don't have the actual information regarding the population. That should be done in a systematic way in one go, but that was not possible. Like for the fishing cat, so at least we have some information. Like in 2012, for my master's thesis, I conducted camera trapping survey in Chitor National Park, and then we estimated 9 to 25 individual fishing cat. But this is not the holistic population from the Chitor National Park, because we cover only 160 square kilometer. So it was like the opportunistic survey. We did systematic, but within some selected sites. So I prefer to say like a kind of opportunistic survey. So back in 2016 and 17, we did another camera trapping survey in Koshitapu. So that will get published later in 2021, and the population in Koshitapu is 20 individual. Still, we couldn't cover the area outside the protected part in Koshitapu during that time. As I saw in the distribution map, it goes beyond the protected area. So some fishing cat population were still missing outside the protected area, outside the Koshitapu also. And in 2021, we did camera trapping survey in Suklafata, and then we didn't do any analysis, but only we check the individuals, and we differentiate 9 different individuals. But coming to the population, at one point I can summarize that based on the distribution paper, distribution studies, and then I also conducted home range studies of fishing cat. Based on these two studies, this I can guess the population of fishing cats in Nepal lies between 400 to 450 adult individual. This is my assumption. So this is the latest update about the fishing cat population in the country. So, yeah. So, what I was talking about the home range, yeah. These are the pictures, images showing the home range studies and the movement fishing cat home range use pattern. In the first picture, you can see like the Koshitap Wildlife Reserve, and then this is the buffer zone area. We have colored fishing cat in two different sites. Like in the site A, this is the buffer zone area where there lies like more above 500 fish ponds area in these sites. So this is the park boundary. Parallel to the park boundary, there are fish ponds in these sites, and we colored some cats in these sites, and then some cats inside the protected area in the core reserve. So site A and site B. After analysis, we figure out that though the fishing cat are the good swimmer, they can swim very well, even the further distances. It seems like the fishing cats, they are crossing the small tributaries, but the main part of the Koshi, which one is the deep one with the strong forces, water forces, it couldn't cross the area. So this is what we didn't know, and we understand from this study. Beside this, we also understand some other things from our radio coloring study. So the home range of the adult female, 21.72 kilometers square, is like almost 3 times smaller than the home range of the male fishing cat, that is 58.03 kilometers square. This is the average home range of 4 individual adult female and 4 individual adult male. So this is the average. And the interesting among the individual, among the male and female, is that male fishing cat seems overlapping with the other adult male, and also with multiple females. but neither of the females, neither of the adult females seems overlapping with the other adult female. So female seems exclusively territorial in this matter. And also we figured out that though fishing cat occurs outside the protected area in the human dominated landscape, they are found to be used in the mostly undisturbed wetland sites, though in the human dominated landscape. So that is the other finding we found from this survey. So yeah, we have conducted diet composition of fishing cat as well, which is in the preparation phase. I am still working on this chapter. I'm telling this chapter because this is also the part of my PhD. Um, we use microscopic hair analysis method for the to understand the diet of the fishing cat. So these are the images magnificent under the magnificent glass. So by checking the hair pattern of the different cats, like the jungle cat and the fishing cat, because if jungle cat also found in the that fishing cat area. So and the other carnivore found is golden jackal. So we just try to differentiate the which species a cat is belong to, and we also goes with the morphology and the size and the texture of the different scats to understand to differentiate the fishing cat scat with the jungle cat or the jackal. After drying and washing, we found the such undigested part from the fishing cat scars. So you can see the insect parts and the mammals, part of reptiles and birds, so different things. And also the unwanted things like the rope. So out of 238 fishing cat scars, um, we said like the okay fishing cat is the good swimmer, they can hunt the fish, and then most of the literature define that fishing cat is the most valuable prey for the fishing cat. But our studies so found that almost 97%, 97% of the fishing cat scars we found the mammal parts. So and then fish come in the third position after the reptiles. No, in the fourth position after, yeah, birds, amphibians and reptiles. They are grouped in the same group. So um, in the inland fishing cat, unlike the coastal fishing cat, which hunt basically on the which found hunting basically on the fishes, and these inland fishing cats are found the more dependent on the rats and rodents, and then to the birds, and then reptiles, and to the fishes. So this is our finding. So yeah, we need to talk only with about the conservation also. I remember that thing because yeah, this series is about the conservation talk. So for the conservation, first we should understand the scenario, we should understand the status of the species, and then we should understand the threat so that we can work on the conservation aspect. From one of my research, which I published in 2021, I have just yeah, reported some threats in the Koshitapu area. You can see the road kills, and then retaliation is there, and then dog kill. The people keep dog for the protection for guarding their fish farm from the people, but at the same time fishing cat also roam there, and then they chase the cat, and sometimes they there will be misfortunate. So this scenario are there, and then there are other scenario also like the which I cannot explain here, but and that I have seen in different inside protected areas also. There are a lot of scenarios where there is the fragmentation of the fishing cat habitat, and the degradation of wetland, and the conversion of wetland shrinkage, because this is the wetland specialist species, and that brings more threat on under these circumstances. So Over harvesting of the fishes is also the other cases, and then there is like other species of animals, like there is the like the snaring, some intentional, some unintentional. There are snaring cases, poisoning cases, road accidents, and on all of this, I believe lack of awareness is the most important thing. We should educate the people to reduce threat in some level, because most of the threat are related with the human, directly related with the human. Only if you are related with the climate. So um, yeah, here are some popular articles that I presented in different media, and about the threat of fishing cat. If you want, you may find it and read it. Anyway, so talking, understanding this threat, understanding the status, and we should start working on the conservation program. When I started back in 2012, a small component of my research is like doing key informant interview about the fishing cat, and I was unfortunate not to find much people for that key informant interview. The problem is not people are not interested to do that, but people don't know about these spaces. And at the same point, I figure out like, okay, first I should speak out. People should aware about these spaces, and then we can talk about things. So there were a lot of gap in the spaces level research and the information. So back in 2015, when I worked with a National Trust for Nature Conservation, we developed one poster. We don't have any photographs, so I just hired one artist to draw this poster, and then this how it comes out. This is the first poster that developed in 2015 for the conservation program. After this, I continue working on fishing cat, and then in 2020, I just get admitted for my PhD, and then I'm about to go abroad for my study. But at the same time, there was lockdown, and because of COVID, and then I started thinking like, okay, I can make people aware from the home, staying at the home. Then I started the page Terai Fishing Cat project to aware the people. So for that, I don't have nothing like. Then I decided, okay, to make a logo for Terai Fishing Cat project, and this fishing cat picture, it has a different story though. This fishing cat is from the Koshitapu buffer zone area. This is a male fishing cat which we captured in our camera trap in the buffer zone sites in the fish farming area. But because of very blurred, the picture was blurred because it's from the camera trapping. So I again hired one digital artist to just make this clear version of that, and then I use the logo, and none of the logo I see like the big size of animals. My only objective is to make aware people about the fishing cat. So this is the logo of the fishing cat project. And second time when I developed the poster with Rupesh Mahajan, one of my student, now he's in US. So we just developed this poster, and then we include this photo. So this photo from the internet, still from the internet. We have gathered some more information until then, and then we have quite more information. And then this is the latest photo, the latest poster which we developed. And then I'm so proud to say that this photo from Chittor National Park and this photo from Koshitap Wildlife Reserve both are clicked from our photographer in Nepal. So now we have like quite more information, and then we included. And then, we developed such kind of poster stickers, and then sometimes we also support to the student with the presentation slides for the fishing cat if they want to present, And then with this Tarai Fishing Cat project, when I started in 2020, I started sharing the information about the fishing cat from that page, and then I also started continue working on my PhD things, and then we formed the team, and then in 2023, when the global people are like we started celebrating February, every February as the fishing cat month. Then I thought like, okay, I should do in different way, because I think as a single person I cannot do much thing. So then until then, in by 2023 we have already formed the team, a small team in Terai fishing cat project, and as a team we decided to give one training to the student from the fishing cat region in the country. So we trained 18 students, and we gave that student an outreach volunteers to this training. We give the name, and then these 18 volunteers we get today full training about the fishing cat. They just get training, and then they return to their communities, and they educate the communities and the schools. Yeah, we supported them with the fishing cat education toolkit. So after this, I feel like, okay, there is something gap, because when people say about fishing cat, there is always confusion because people cannot differentiate the small cat species from one to another. So I feel it is important not only to the students, to the whole community. They should understand there are other different cats also in their community. So in 2023 we figured out these things, and then in 2024 we increased the day, and then the 2 days program goes for 3 days program in 2024 February, and then we give session for the different other cat species, and then we also develop the poster on other different other small cat species as well as the tiger also. So this way, these students, these volunteers working in different range of Nepal, educating the schools and the communities. So these are some sites where the fishing cat is working. Basically in the outreach activities. This is not the updated one, still we missed some posts, but this is from the last year 2023. So still the activities is ongoing in more different areas till now through students. I'm not telling from my side because until 2020 I go on, I don't go in a group, not in a team, I go alone. But I've in from 23 to 24, these students, they have reached like more than 100 schools, and then they have gone visited more than 100 communities, local communities, and reached directly to the more than 5,000 individuals. So yeah, this will be upgoing, and then we are just updating the format as well, and then we are looking forward for the wildcard series 2025, um, which we decided to be organized in Bardia. So if anyone here who might be interested, you can apply for 2025 series, which will be happening in Bardia. So yeah, this is about the conservation. Sometimes, conservation itself doesn't work, and then there should be something which we should work to make the communities resilience. We understand there is the animal, and then there is the conflict, and then um, uh, to make the people adaptive, to make them resilient, we have to do something. And then we started giving chicken coop in 2022, from started from Koshitobu, and then the people are very happy. They have different good stories, and some are making really good money from this chicken group. This predator group corals are just focused not for the big carnivores. These are focused for the small cats, jungle cat, fishing cat, and some hot jackal up to that level. And then these are for the minimal community, which where we'll be happy with keeping just few number of chickens. So they put the chicken, they sell, and they also consume as a protein diet. And when they don't put chicken, these are the pictures of rabbit and dog you see here. Some community are there who don't put chicken at home, and then for them also we have provided these scopes. So yeah, we also provided some fingerlings to the community where we have done coloring in the eastern buffer zone of Koshitopu. Also, yeah, this is the rehabilitation center picture. Sorry, this is the picture of the leopard. This is for the small cat, obviously, but sometimes this is strong enough that can hold the big carnivore also, not the tiger, but up to the leopard size. So the veterinarian team is, yeah, medicating the leopard, common leopard. And then this enclosure has up to now has helped, I think, a clouded leopard, one clouded leopard, and some jungle cats until now. So this was focused for the small cat. This is in Saurha. Besides that, we have worked on the hoarding board. This is the hoarding board and information board with some more information here, presence in some board. So we have started this kind of activities from Eastern Nepal, and then also uh, in central Nepal. So this is from Dhanushadam. Actually, because of the roadkill also, we feel like it is important to install the road sign also. So road sign is here. This is from Dhanushadam area, and this is also from Dhanushadam area. So yeah, I started keeping the board from fishing cat, and then like now I slightly changed my things because I get more aware after working some more thing on the stuffs. So because people, my objective is people should not be confused with the small cat species what they found around. So in the Anusadam area there is jungle cat, fishing cat, and leopard cat. So this is the small cats found in those area. So these things are like installation of wording board, information board, or the road signage is continue, and then in near future we are just planning. We are in the plan. Just planning is already done, but we will implement in the couple of months. We install some more road signage and hoarding board in the central Nepal Bara site. So. Yeah, we talk a lot about the research and then conservation activities, and then yeah, we also discuss about the threat. Just I want to share one story from my work. So there might be question: is conservation outreach is really helpful? So I will say yes, and that is important, especially for such kind of animal we people don't know much. Starting with the story of Gulabi, just I want to introduce you who is Gulabi. The man side of me, he is Gulabi. He's the fish farmer, local fish farmer. He is Gulabi Malaha. Or he also wants to pronounce him like Gulabi Mukhia. Actually, his caste is Malaha, like the Malaha Biralo. So he's from the ethnic groups of the community, and he's the fish farmer. So while coloring, we with the local authorities or the other stakeholder, we also include the community people while doing the coloring, while capturing the fishing cat, while setting the traps, or while like setting the colors on it after we just capture it from the trap. So he's the one Gulabi, and this is the other Gulabi. So, with the further respect of him, I gave this cat named Gulabi. She is my first color fishing cat. So, um, these both Gulabis, they share the same habitat. Like uh, she was captured from his fish pond area. So in the map, you can see this red dot. We are here, and she was captured here and then colored. So this is the Koshitapu Wildlife Reserve, and then when I started camera trapping in 2015, especially before camera trapping, I did questionnaire survey, and then in the eastern buffer zone, the people said like there might be more than 500 individual of fishing cats presence, and then people were not happy with that because they think fishing cat as the nonsense animals, and there is also assumption that fishing cat stay in the inside the reserve in the daytime and they come to steal their fish in the nighttime. So there is such kind of hypothesis from the community people side, and they believe that if there is no reserve, there is no protected area, and then their fish will be safe from the fishing cat. So they see the Koshita Wildlife Reserve as the unwanted thing. So my aim is just to explore the thing, check their hypothesis, and then I asked them to install the camera trap in this site. And then in 2017, I realized that there were only few individual of fishing cats roaming in this site, like the 10 individual. I go with in the community with their results, and then community people were quite happy because it's not like 500 fishing cats they have very less fishing cat. Also they were aware like okay, they should protect the fishing cat. So somehow they were convinced, but still in one point they still things like fishing cat just because are there because protected area Koshitapu is there, and they believe on that things. And then okay, in my PhD I thought like okay, I should check the hypothesis which was set by the community people. And then I choose one topic for coloring, and then after coloring, yeah, I also think the same thing what community people were thinking, but the scenario is different. When I color, I was happy with the coloring of this cat, but my happiness doesn't end longer. What happened? We colored this cat here, and then I was like waiting for the data every time I check from my mobile or laptop device where the cat is moving, where the gulabi is moving. And it most of the time it doesn't enter to the reserve side. You see here, this is the reserve boundary, but this cat is crossing the several communities, human dominated landscape. You can see here, these are the communities. You can see small houses over here, and then that makes me not sleep. At the midnight I wake up and then I check the data, and then I feel fear like okay, my cat might kill, because there is the cases of retaliation in their sides, and that there were the cases of snaring, a lot of things happening. And then I couldn't sleep well. And then I'm about to go abroad, but I quickly changed my mind, and then I went to Koshitapu again. And then I did some activities in the fishing cat in that gulabi area where the gulabi was moving. It was the COVID time, and then school was supposed to open soon, but still that were not open. But I invited the community people I informed the community people, send their kids to the school with their uniform, and then they were so much happy going to school after like 1.5 year. And I supported them with some packet of stationaries. And then I for a whole day program I just make them aware about the fishing cat ecology, importance of fishing cat, what kind of species they have in their community, in their fish farm. And then I talk about the camera trapping, about the coloring. I show them color, camera trap, and everything. Most of them have already seen though. And then I also request them, if you see cat around you, just let it go, it doesn't harm you. So after that I feel like okay, my cat the gulabi might be safe. And then they, with that story, they also involved in writing the essays or the poem, or then making the pictures about the cat. you know After like the 2 month, around the 2 month of coloring, I was in abroad in Belgium, and then I got the message in the midnight like gulabi got stuck in the hum pipe. Actually, what happened? The case, the two fishermen have set net here over here to collect the fish. The fishing cat entered from one hole, and then it get stuck over there. And when fishing cat was there, when the fisherman went there, they saw the fishing cat. And then one of them was intended to kill, and the other said like, no, this is the fishing cat, it doesn't harm, we can just call the team. Fortunately my team was in the field, and then they informed my team, and then the team went there and they rescued, and I got this good message in the midnight. So this is the time, and this is the area habitat of fishing cat where gulabi got stuck. You see the paddy was growing very well. It's the month of like October. Yeah, it was captured, colored in August, and it was stuck in October. So after that, like after the 6 month of that incident, fishing cat is seen with this kitten, the gulabi, because we also install the camera traps to monitoring this coloring cache. And then this is the success story of gulabi. Unless if there were not that outreach organized program in the community, gulabi has dead. And then and it seems like the gulabi was conceived after the coloring, and then when she get stocked she was pregnant, and then now she is seen in the community with the kittens, and she is still surviving. So this is one story what I share. From this story, this is the short story. We have like a lot of several stories from our work, but this was my this taught me, because this is, I become quite selfish also here, because I'm so concerned about my data because I'm the student of data science, and I'm also concerned about the spaces, individual of these spaces. So this study really taught me, and so I believe this is most important, and then that's the reason why I started education and outreach volunteers for the Terai Fishing Cat projects. Okay, thank you. Any queries is welcome.
Thank you for your insightful talk, ma'am. I am sure our participants have a lot of queries. Meanwhile, I want to ask you something. So, how did you get motivated to work on fishing cat? Because you mentioned that some local people even don't know what is fishing cat, so you couldn't do your survey and stuff. So, what keeps you motivated to work on fishing cat?
Um, yeah, it's like it's not exactly like, okay, I study fishing cat one day. It doesn't start on that way. Yeah, there is a long story, but I want to tell you in the short way. I was in Siton for one training from my university, and then I am just about to do research on otter, the wetland species, because I need to do anyway. I need to do my thesis, and then yeah, I discussed with some technician, and then I just review some literature about the otter, and I figured out like, okay, since I need data for my thesis, and then I see, okay, data will be lacking if I go with otter. And then fortunately there was a project from Panthera, supported by Panthera with anti-ansi, and then I joined with that program, and then I did. And then every time in my mind I was like, okay, fishing cat is also the wetland species, and then I might see otter at the time. And it happens when I started working with fishing cat, and then I figure out like people know otter, but people don't know fishing cat, and I feel like, okay, I should go with the list non species one. And then w- the more you know, the more you start to love. I believe everything will do that, because unless we know, we don't know, then we don't have any opinion on it. But when we know something, then we urge to know more and more about it. Same thing happened on me. And then when is every year when I keep working on it, and then I figure out like, okay, this is my spaces. I should work on it. I should continue working on it. It happens on that way. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was in
Oh,
mute. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I have another question. Since you're working in human-dominated landscape, how are you motivating the local people for the fishing cat conservation? What keeps them motivated like you? Because local people will always want some benefit or something for conservation. So yeah, okay.
yeah, that's the good question. But I missed the first sentence of what you told. I
So
understand
you,
the
you
second.
you mentioned that you are working on a human dominated landscape.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. So how to motivate the community people to work on this, or like to protect these spaces? Yeah, this is what you mean. Can you hear me? Yeah, this is a big challenge. Not only the fishing cat. Yeah, if we talk about the any spaces, this is a big challenge. The one who work directly in the field, that they must have felt that things, because sometimes we work without fund also, because when there is interest we do on that way also. And some projects really they may have good fun, and then people are used to getting the benefited, in the finance, in terms of financial way, or other way. And then people also expect the similar things. But uh, but for the case of fishing cat, it's like most of the cases, most of the scenario of fishing cat retaliation or fishing cat conflict is by because of the ignorance, or like the little awareness, less awareness is much harmful than the other, because um, fishing cats can swim well and then can hunt the fish. It doesn't mean fishing cat only hunt and fish, but we can take this in different way. Like fishing cat is the good indicator for the ecosystem. It balance the functioning of the ecosystem, wetland ecosystem. Like it controls the population of the prey, other prey species, like the birds which hunt on the fish, like the water snake which hunt on the fish again. And then if we can explain these things to the farmer, and then farmer seems positive. If we start like fishing cat can hunt the fish, can swim, and then it's go another way. Otherwise, like when we go with the pack of knowledge, then people seems to be convinced. Yeah, but it's still in a group of people, because every people have different mind and different opinions. It's very hard, but we should we have to accept it. We have to accept it. That's the only logic that we can continue working. Otherwise, we feel negativity, and then we feel like in some point, okay, it's not, we are working for these spaces and people are blaming us, like, okay, they are working for the dollars, or like they are making money out of that. They are selfish, they are come for other reasons, and they are showing also of something different thing. There will be some people always selling that, but when you have like interest, when you have passions working on some spaces, you never stop for that reasons. And I believe on that we should not stop on those things, because always there will be good people, always there will be motivator in the community, which keep inspiring. For example, for my cases before, yeah, I other part I work for elephants. I work also for human elephant coexistence, and then from that I have visited like more than 100 communities, rural communities. Like fishing cat is not like that level of the cat, the species which hunt the which yeah, hunt the people, But in case of elephants, there are like lot of cases which have killed the people, which ravage the property of the people. We get that is seeable. So in that scenario also I have visited the community and then said like save the elephants. That scenario is different. It depends on the tolerance level of the community. So I started telling with like, okay, the community resilience is the most important thing, and then how you deal with the themes, how you start with talking, that is the most important while working in the community.
Yes, that's a great thing to know. Communities are always the biggest part of conservation. We have another question here from Rishi Bosari, ma'am. What is the coolest thing that you have ever encountered on one of your field trips? I'm guessing it is fishing cat, but it would be nice to hear from you. Also, what made this the coolest and most memorable moment?
Sorry, I didn't hear you properly. Something I
Oh, okay.
missing. Yeah.
Okay. What is the coolest thing that you have encountered on one of your field trips? I'm guessing it is fishing cat, but it would be nice to hear from you. Also, what made this the coolest and most memorable moment?
What's the coolest thing about fishing cat? Is that the question?
The coolest thing that you have encountered on your field trip.
Um, yeah, I should recall, like, I remembered like there is a lot of story, a lot of things comes in my mind right now. I don't know how to explain those things, but in summary, I should say like there were some circumstances, some scenarios where people are thinking like, okay, she is the lady and she may not conduct the work smoothly in the community. It's again about the human elephant coexistence training, or the community program. And then there is some circumstances like the people started fighting in between, and then I controlled the mass, and then the program went smooth. And then after that program, there were few ladies who said like, please do come again and again. Only we have seen male in the community, and those are my role models. Those are my motivators. Those are my inspiration. Every time, I have fear inside me when going to the community, because I am going to this community where elephants has killed the kill their relatives or their family member or something, and then I'm going to tell them save those elephants. And then I have, I have big heart, no, I have heavy heart actually at that time. And then again I need to smile, I need to bring a smile on my face because I showed my courage. And then at the end of the program, every time when the local female, they said like, okay, you should come again and again, and then that was the inspiration. I remember, I cannot forget these things ever.
Okay,
I
so
don't
we have
know what was the question and what I answered
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. That was the question, and that was very
Because
good
it,
to
it
know.
was not clear to me. Anyway.
So another question is, you mentioned that fish fingerlings were provided to farmers.
Mhm.
Is it possible to name the fish species that was released?
I'm at first I'm very poor in fish thing, because we provided fish fingerling to the Gulabi area. Actually, I show you the Gulabi area, which was it, and then the Gulabi Mukhia, from Gulabi Mukhia, he provided the fish thing. We just shared them the budget, and then actually he control over the, he just manage everything over there. And then yeah, species of carp, I think I should check with that. I'm not sure now.
Okay, so we have one last question. We are
Okay.
almost at the end. Is there any recorded evidence of pesticides impacting the fishing catch?
Um, yeah, I can't tell now because there is no research regarding the pesticides thing. But there we have the generalistic information like, okay, from the agriculture run of water, which use pesticides that will pollute the water source, and then that degrade the quality of fishes and then the other aquatic creatures. And obviously there is the impact on fishing cat, but we don't have any such information, direct information.
Okay, so I think there are no questions now. So we are at the end. So first of all, I want to thank you a lot for providing your valuable time and for your insightful talk on fishing cat. I'm sure we have all learned a lot about conservation of fishing cat in our country. Uh, and also happy International Biodiversity Day again. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope to see you all again in our another conservation conversation series in the upcoming days. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Accepting our invite.
Thank you.
Thank you all.